Welcome back to Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. We are broadcasting from the Thacker Jewelry Studios, and we want to get straight to the phones. We've got Eddie McBride, the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce here in Lubbock, and a lot's going on there at the Chamber of Commerce. How's it going, Eddie?
Matt, we're fine. Good. How is everything with you?
I'm good. I've been doing great. My wife and I've said it before. My wife's graduating with her master's degree, and it's been kind of, she's had to be out a lot, including, with her job and school. So now that she's done with all her schoolwork, waiting for the graduation, we're in good shape, man. It just feels nice to have her home more often.
Yeah, that, and congratulations to her for her next academic success. Good for her.
She worked hard to make that happen. So
Matt won't even have to work as much now that she has a master's degree. She'll be making more money.
Well, all this work I do over here.
Oh boy.
Well, and I'm glad to hear that you've. I haven't talked to you since you've recovered from your COVID experience. So I hope that there's no lingering stuff hanging on with that.
No, I think I'm good. I hope so. So I feel okay. It's I had a very mild case. We had a gentleman call earlier that had said he had a moderate case. Didn't end up in the hospital, but had some really bad symptoms. So I feel very blessed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Eddie, we all know somebody that's had it now, haven't we?
Yep.
I'm telling you, Eddie, this stuff is getting out of hand. But my prediction is a year from now, after everybody is vaccinated, this will only be a memory, and we will return to some sense of normality. What do you think?
I hope, we were laughing before Thanksgiving. We were saying, okay, what are you going to do here? And we said, well, we can't see beyond Thanksgiving. And then we said after Thanksgiving, well, heck, we can't see, beyond Christmas. Well, hell, I'm saying now I can't see beyond Texas Independence Day. I mean, it's so hard to tell. So a year from now, if your estimation and prognostication is correct, I hope it's even less than that, Dave.
Well, I do too. Yeah, I hope it's within months, because I'm thinking from what they're saying that they could have I forget how many millions they were talking about that could be vaccinated by early spring, and the more people you get vaccinated, the fewer opportunities there are to spread the disease. So
yeah.
it should start minimizing as we see those vaccinations increase.
Now,
that's my take.
That's what I'm hoping too. I mean, there's been so much science on both sides. There's been so much confusion. There's been so much vitriol one way or the other. The best thing that can happen is for all the best things to happen from the vaccinations. And let's just hope that the folks, I already know a whole bunch of people that said they're not about to take the vaccination. And there's going to be a push to try to encourage people to do that, because that's, it's just like wearing a mask. It's one of the things that they hope that's going to overcome some of this, the spikes and the trend and the continued, outbreak. So I don't know if it'll work or not, but I know I'm going to take the vaccination because obviously I don't want to get COVID.
I think you're exactly right. We talked about this yesterday. I think there are a lot of people that are saying, oh, no, I'm not going to take it. But I think that societal pressure is going to be heavy, and they're going to see, and in a lot of cases, I think that businesses are going to demand that their employees take it, and which they have the right to do. And so I think you're going to see a lot more of those people come around and take it. But Eddie, I always am excited to have you on the show, because I've said many times that you are the man that has your finger on the pulse of business in Lubbock, Texas. You guys at the Chamber in Lubbock, we are very proud of, because you do such a great job. And I am always, I look around, Eddie, and I see so many businesses that are closed. I see so many businesses that are not going to reopen. I see so many bankruptcies. And I just want to hear your take, because I know that you are probably more aware than anyone of what's going on out there in the community when it comes to Lubbock businesses. What does the view look like from where you sit?
Well, it is tough. There's a whole spectrum of how COVID has impacted local area businesses. We have 7,500, 7,600 storefront local businesses in Lubbock, Texas, and we still do not have a way to accurately count how many folks have actually gone out of business. And then the ones that have gone out of business since last February, March, we don't know how many of them would have gone out of business anyway. So there's there's some difficulties in actually counting those, but we do know of quite a few folks. We've estimated a little over 200 people for sure, but the restaurants, just like what's happening to the restaurants, I just fear that the national prognostication before was about 1/3 of all the restaurants in America were going to close by the end of the year, and we're not doing anything right now except for the curbside pickup and the ones that are eating inside with 25%. All I can say is please support your local restaurants. Go and take out and bring home some food, or even if you're able to, if you have the confidence to go out and eat, then do so. But nonetheless, we really got to support the restaurants, all of the restaurants. And then the other retail, there's some retail folks that have been hurt, and there's the smaller the business, the more likely you are to have challenges because obviously your margins are not as great. So it is a very difficult environment we find ourselves in. But again, I know folks during COVID that have had some of their best revenue generating periods. Those folks who definitely converted to take home and curbside pickup and stuff like that. Some of those restaurants I know for a fact have had their best periods of time, best months, best weeks, and it's just because they were able to change their model. So it's fortunate for some, not as fortunate for others, I guess is what it amounts to.
So have you seen 1/3 of businesses going out of business here in Lubbock, or does it seem a little better than that here?
We national models, it's always, whenever there's a boom, we don't tend to hit the boom at the same time. Whenever there's a bust, we don't hit the bust. There's always some type of delay. I have not seen 1/3 of the businesses. I've seen a lot of restaurants close their doors, but I wouldn't say anywhere close to 1/3 of them.
Okay,
I mean,
I have a question for you, and this has more to do with national, I guess, but it looks like WB and HBO Max are getting together, and they're going to be putting their movies on a streaming service at the same time. And Netflix has been doing that for a long time. Do you see this as being a trend that may end up getting rid of movie theaters?
Well, I think there's going to be this. It's kind of like reading newspapers. You have a chance to read a newspaper, you get a chance to read it online. There's a lot of us that still read newspapers, and we're not all old farts, but most of them probably are. But I think it's going to be the same way with the movie theaters. I think the folks who are, diehard movie theater goers are going to be diehard movie theater goers going forward. And those who really enjoy the streaming opportunities, I think it's going to be a boom for the business because, that's a pretty cheap way to put on a movie. You go to a movie house and it costs a little bit more for the studios to actually make money off of those. But, boy, they ought to be able to make quite a bit of money off the streaming services, I think.
So, Eddie, we do have to take a quick break. We're talking to Eddie McBride, the president and CEO of the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce. When we get back, I know that y'all are going to be working with the COVID testing and getting those kits out to small businesses. We want to hear a little bit about that.
You bet.
All right, we'll be right back on News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO. Welcome back to Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. We are broadcasting from the Thacker Jewelry Studios, and we've got Eddie McBride, the president and CEO of the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce here. And I watched and I saw that you have a nice white beard going on there. And I saw on KCBD and heard a little bit about what's going on as far as y'all are going to be having, I guess, COVID tests that employers can opt in to be able to give tests to their employees. Is that what I understand?
Yes, sir. We got called by the governor's office through the Texas Department of Emergency Management to participate in a pilot project. And the overall goal is to ensure Texas businesses remain open for business and do their part to help mitigate the spread of COVID-19. So the whole intent is to try to develop a distribution system for these rapid test kits. And the governor, they've already started doing this with the school districts. They have a pilot program that they put in for the school districts since October, and I understand it's working real well. So what the intent is, Matt, is to be able for us to get boxes of test kits distributed we have to watch a video to be trained on two things. One is how to administer the test. So someone on our staff, just like any other business that gets a test kits will be tested and certified to be able to administer the test, the nasal swab rapid response test. So businesses will also have to have a staff person to do the video, take the test, get certified, and then we will be distributing the kits to them, and then they will, as they test their employees, they will report that information up to the state to be obviously both calculated in the case rate, as well as then that information will eventually come back down to the community as well. So the intent is to identify those COVID carriers, if you will, and make sure that they self-isolate and that they quarantine so they don't infect anybody else, including people on the staffs, employees in the company, as well as even customers. So the whole intent is to try to minimize the spread.
Eddie? Who's going to get those tests?
Any business that gets certified. So here's what we're going to do. We will get a certain amount of test kits, and they will come in lots of 40. And then we will be able to determine which businesses have actually had someone on their staff that are certified to administer the test. Therefore, they will be able to enter our queue to pick up the test kit. So we already have a bunch of businesses after the announcement yesterday. We've had a bunch of businesses that have already said they want test kits. So now those businesses will have to have somebody take the video or just sit through the video and take the test and get a certification and then be registered with the state of Texas. And then that's how we will determine first come, first serve who's going to be able to get the test kits.
So is there a cost for these businesses?
No, sir, not at all.
Okay.
And that's what's good about this. This is the Abbott Binax Now test kit, and it's again one of the things that the federal government has made available to the state of Texas, so that we can obviously do whatever we can to help slow down the spread.
So, Eddie, the individuals that take the test it's no cost to them either?
No, sir. It's going to be, for example, business can have somebody get certified, come pick up the kits, go back, and as necessary, we meet here at 10 o'clock this morning to get all the final details on the logistics, but and give the instructions to the businesses on how best to conduct the testing. So,
okay, so is this any size business, Eddie?
Well, it's the bigger the business, the less likely it is to get it. It's intended for small businesses. Now, there's a lot of people that have a lot of different opinions, and we have a lot more small businesses in the city of Lubbock than we do big businesses. So,
right.
And so I think that it's really intended for small businesses more so than anything else. And we're going to do whatever we can to. We did a pretty good job of getting masks out. We handed out 192,000 masks a couple of months ago, and we're handing out masks right now. We're still folks are still coming by the chamber and getting masks. So this test kit will also include the appropriate protection, the PPE for somebody who's administering the test. So that person will have face shield, face mask, and the gown as well. So there'll be other precautions that are provided for the folks who can administer the test.
Eddie, do you guys have any insight as to the vaccination or the vaccine? And I know they say it's coming to Lubbock. Do you have any insight on that, or do you just know what, I guess, has been reported?
What I heard is there's going to be 2,900 vaccine opportunities coming to Covenant and 19 coming to UNC. And I'll be honest, I'm rather confused about if they're exactly the same or what, but I know one of them takes 2 injections, and this might be it. So I don't know if that 2,900 is 2,900 people or 2,900 actual shots. So I don't know that answer. I'm sorry about that. I'm still trying to determine exactly which one's which.
So is there any role for
next
the chamber
week
to play in that?
I'm sorry?
Is there any role for the chamber to play in that?
Yeah, when it comes our time, we're going to go get a shot.
Yeah.
Quickly, Eddie, we have a texter this morning that says, can you ask Mr. McBride if the Chamber has taken a position on the proposed pro-life ordinance?
Nah, we're not gonna spin our wheels with that. That's a city council problem. That's not something obviously that's in our wheelhouse to be involved with. So we're not going to address it.
All right. Well, Eddie, thank you so much for coming on. And I don't know, do y'all have events coming up, Eddie?
No. Well, we have
Okay.
a couple of webinars we have coming. We have a community prayer gathering, but no, sir, we don't have any events coming.
All right. Well, thank you.